Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon. So, I guess I'm doing that by doing some sort of, news on the theme park, I guess you can say, which I haven't done as often as I wanted to, talk about the theme parks or whatever. But, it's gonna be more positive. It's gonna be in the for this one individual who's in the military. I get Marine to be more exact. And because Disneyland Resort had honored to the present family of a fallen Marine with a certain tribute that they presented, and which of course is really nice. It presented them as something as a way to, and so yeah, this individual had was a beloved and person who loved all things, that was supposed to be related to Star Wars, stuff like that. And he was this kind of a person and whatnot. And of course, this individual never knew how his life was going to come out. Of course, and he was at the age of 22. He was laid to rest. One of 13 U.S. service members killed in the attack of this airport on October 26th of this year, by the way. His parents did intend to honor his request, but, they had some sort of thing going on, of course. And, there's a thing that from what I can read, is that he had, this individual, this Marine, had a lightsaber that he built. And, his parents wanted to use that as a way to for him, but I guess they felt too bad about it. They couldn't find the courage to take part of the lifesaver he built. Of course, I guess they couldn't really remove it. They couldn't take it apart or anything. But I guess it's something that reminds them of him. So of course, they had tears in their eyes. They were talking about this kind of stuff. The whole lightsaber toy, of course, it may seem trivial to a lot of people, but it meant something really deep for them. Of course, his parents. And of course, this kind of thing is really disheartening, because when you think about it, your parents are supposed to go first, not the child first. But yeah, of course, it's something really sad, of course. And I just want to make a report of this, and I just to thank anybody for watching my video ahead of time, obviously. But yeah, it's just something I want to bring up, of course, and because that's the thing. Just of course, they were talking about days prior, his and whatnot. They would just have kind of conversations, and maybe they would be at their house or among family, be talking about him. Of course, when they finally received the news of what had happened, of course, when he died, of course, the news eventually went to them. Of course, obviously, but yeah. And yes, at the Disneyland, of course, there's a workshop in the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I believe, if it is what you call it. I know what that is, because Everest and I have been there before. We can use certain things, and when you can build your own R2D2 stuff like that. And yes, you can even construct your own lifesaver, of course, and whatnot. So yes, the lifesaver in question that he had created at this place, and from what I believe is from what I read, the one that was there was one that was built by his entire family, would be buried along with him. I believe so. But they walked into Disneyland to this place was coming out from this and whatnot, because there are, of course, there's a bunch of places you can go to when it comes to events. Things you gotta find the directions on the street and know how to get there. Of course, it's something that's really sad, obviously, but yes, it this did happen, of course. So yeah, Disneyland wanted the Disneyland Resort. At least this one, at least one of the specific. I'm guessing the one that the specific went to wanted to help them out. I guess you can say, which they did in their own way, of course. And yeah, it's of course sucks. Yes, it's awful that you would lose a loved one, of course, whom you would know for years, ever since they were, you know, a lot younger, and it feels like you grew up with the individual, of course. And yeah, I mean, yes, of course, families and your closest friends. everybody will go through ups and downs, of course. But at the end of the day, of course, you love that individual, no matter what. And it definitely shows that this kind of thing is definitely expressed among this family, of course. That's fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with showing this compassion, of course. You're actually presented with this kind of a thing for the family. So yeah, that's definitely charming, of course. It shows that they can actually care for everybody, of course. And it went on to say that they expressed that they took the American flag that was flying over Disneyland and quickly had it framed and created this thing, of course, so that they could present it to the family. One of the people who worked there, of course. In a space of 90 minutes, this individual was on his way there and said that your son's sacrifice means the word to a country, to everybody's country, America, of course, and also to people who worked at Disneyland and whatnot. And it's I guess you can say it was their honor to give them this token of appreciation, which was, of course, expressed by the individual who worked there, obviously. And yes, of course, like the photo I just showed a moment ago, the mother just basically broke down in tears, and when she said that her son loved going to Disneyland, and of course, and yeah, that's the thing. It definitely people got definitely choked up because of this. So yeah, that was great that this kind of thing was actually had was a thing for the entire family, of course. And yeah, this individual just gave his life to basically do what he believed to be the right thing to do, of course, and that's great. So yes, I guess this was in some ways in other kind of depressing news, I guess you could say. But also it's kind of happy in some ways too when you think about it, because this individual was doing what he loved, and the people who work at the Disneyland show that they do care too, of course. The mother went on to say that later on that the family had been annual pass holders for like what decades, I believe, and that her son had loved coming to the park since he was what, maybe like a toddler, of course. So yeah, quite some time, of course, quite a while. So yeah, Winnie the Pooh, he loved as a child and whatnot, and of course we'll go to the teacups of the Mad Tea Party with the go on the spin things, I guess you can say, the teacups or whatever. So that's cool. But of course, it was also expressed that Star Wars was just passing. I don't know if he saw the the latest Star Wars movies, so that's maybe at least a few of them, perhaps. But anyway, moreover is that it was said that this individual definitely dressed up as a Jedi for Halloween, of course, and he knew all the movies, all the lines, probably, I guess you can say. So all the background characters, the stories and whatnot. So it's something he really, um, something he really suck his teeth to, of course. So that's good. That's great, of course. So it's something that he wanted to, express his passion and whatnot, what he really enjoyed, of course. So there you go. So yeah, folks, this is something I want to talk about for a moment. Again, thank you for anybody for watching ahead of time, like we were saying a moment ago, because this is not a short video by any means. It's almost 20 minutes in length. So, like I was saying earlier, is that I didn't talk about the Disneyland stuff, especially the theme parks. I feel like I don't talk them as enough as of lately, really. Uh, I don't think I talked about anything Disneyland theme park related in my last Disney-a-thon. At least I don't think so. I'm not saying I didn't, but I'm just saying I don't remember. So point being, I feel like I don't talk about the theme parks that often, really. So I basically felt that this could be a good way to bring up something that the theme parks had done for their customers, and this seems like a really great way to express their gratitude and whatnot. Yes, of course, it's really sweet. It's really, really sweet, of course, that this kind of a thing would obviously do. This kind of a thing, of course. So yeah, it's not a bad thing. No, sorry, of Of course not. And also, I want to bring this up also because of the fact, even though on my YouTube channel I'm usually complaining about something, yes, which I realize I'm aware of myself enough that I'm usually complaining about something. So this is a way to get, I guess, in some extent, to break away from that. Yeah, I know I'll come off like a negative Nancy because, like I just said, I'm always nagging, nag about something. I realize that, folks. Don't get me wrong. I realize what I'm doing here. It's not that I have low self-awareness, I guess. But yeah, but anyway, point being is that, yeah, this was actually really nice, really sweet that this kind of thing was actually done, I guess you could say. So yeah, I do think that this is a fantastic thing that this was done, of course. And, but yeah, I do feel that this could shine some light on some positivity because, you know, the whole COVID-19 and whatnot is still a thing and whatnot. But, yeah, the whole virus had claimed a lot of lives, of course, unfortunately. And but yeah, this is something I guess you know to kind of take your mind off of that in a lot of ways because there's a lot of people losing their jobs, a lot of people who a lot to be kicked out from their apartments or homes or whatnot because of the lack of payment and whatnot. And maybe in some ways this could show up maybe it's not all bad. I guess you can say it's not all bad in the world. And yes, this actually happened during the whole pandemic, of course. This actually occurred during the whole pandemic thing. And so yes, you can actually go to Disneyland, any of the Disney resorts, right now, this very second if you want to, with limitations, of course, with limitations, obviously. So even though it may come out sort of restrictive to some extent, I guess you would say, but yeah, you can go there right now if you want. You, if you do one, it can be a bit more complicated nowadays for the obvious reason. But yeah, you're still gonna do it, of course. And this family, of course, found a way. They managed to find a way to actually do what they wanted, and yeah, I'm guessing that they didn't know this ahead of time, of course, and because the woman broke into tears. So yeah, I expect that she didn't know they were gonna do this, but so this was like a big surprise for the mother and everyone else, obviously. So yeah, this was definitely a great thing that they've done this, of course. This is definitely a memory they can keep for the rest of our lives, and maybe pass down for the among the other family members as well. So that's definitely a thing I want to talk about here, folks. Is it depressing? Yes, of course it's depressing. It's someone's child that got killed, but on the bright side, there's some silver lining in this, like we're saying. Is what he did, and he did. This was done for the family, and also he was honored, and he also did this out of love of his country as well. So there's that, you know. Of course, I guess you could say there's that. Obviously, nobody forced the son to do this kind of a thing. He was he was not tricked. He was not manipulated. He did it out of love, of course. Ages ago, people would be drafted in the military, into the war, or whatever. However you want to say, yeah, drafted into the war. That sounds about right. Like ages ago, but not nowadays. The son volunteered to do so, and that's great because he did this out of something he cared about for the country and whatnot, and that's fine. But yeah, folks, it's just something I want to bring up for a good moment here because it's something Disney related, of course, and whatnot, obviously. And again, same thing with the people who worked at Disneyland. Nobody made them to do it. Nobody tricked them to do it. Nobody lied. Nobody lied. Nobody manipulated. They did it on their own free will, of course. They I guess you can say they must have somehow caught wind of what happened, and I'm trying to help out the family, of course. You know, like the old saying goes, if there's a will, there's a way, and this kind of thing, you know, led to that, of course. So, goes to show you that, you know, there are good people out in the world. I'm saying that because I'm not such a pessimist. Even though that's funny coming from me because I complain about pretty much everything. But hey, that's what I do, I guess, complain about stuff. But not this time around, obviously, because, you know, they were trying to cheer up the family in their own way, I guess you'd say, trying to cheer up the family, of course, and just basically trying to bring some sort of peace. I mean, of course, it's not gonna bring up the, it's not gonna bring the family, it's not gonna bring the family's relative back, of course. The son is still dead, of course, but there's some sort of solace there, I guess, some sort of peace there because people out there do care, and he did this again out of love. So, yeah, that should count for something, right? That should definitely count for something, of course. And but yeah, the thing is that I know not everyone will cover this. I know people got their own opinions when it comes to war and battles or whatever you call it. People are getting killed off and whatnot, of course. But when it comes to politics, I actually don't mind talking about politics, of course. Uh, you can talk about politics in a good way. The whole notion of dirty politics is nonsensical as far as I'm concerned because it doesn't always have to be a negative thing, like a lot of people are nowadays. And I know, yes, of course, it can be a very decisive subject matter, which yes, it is. But even then, that doesn't mean that it can be something that could cause into arguments. Which yes, I realize this kind of a thing cause people into arguments, of course. Which yes, I realize. But point being, when you talk about politics and what have you, it doesn't, stuff like this. It doesn't, have to be such a negative thing. Is what I'm getting at. We all can be civil about it. Yes, people can be civil about, this kind of stuff. Of course. Whether you're against the war or for the war, we all can still get along. When it comes to fighting, people or whatever, yes, people can actually still get along, nonetheless, anyway. Yes, that's actually a thing. What do you know? Woohoo! I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because it could bring some positivity, at least to some extent. I guess you can say others' channel in one way or another. I guess you can say so. Yeah, there's that. So again, much appreciation for anybody that's hearing me ramble on about this kind of stuff. I guess you can say. So how to bring up Disney one way or another, some form or another. How to bring up Disney, of course. When it comes to this type of kind of topics, I guess you say I feel like I don't ever bring up enough really and whatnot. When it comes to this specific kind of topics related to Disney, the Disneyland or whatever else I guess you can say. So, all right, I guess I just wrap things up already because this has gone for almost 20 minutes as it is. So yeah, it's great that the employees that somebody at the Disney Resort theme parks, one of them anyway, had done something for the family. I still at least to make the family feel better. Did they have to do this? They were not going to gain anything from it. I can say that, but they did it anyway, just to show that there are good things in the world. There are definitely good things in the world. Which yes, I agree. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.